Hello, hello, everyone. Good evening, good evening. Let me move over here. I look a little wild here. Sorry, but it was kind of crazy today. I was getting a lot of stuff done, and if you hear the vacuum, don't worry. My children are moving about and helping. And I don't even know if my makeup is like on. I was like wiping my eyes. I'm so sorry, guys. I didn't even look in the mirror. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. Okay, so I didn't even look in the mirror before I went on live. However, what I want to talk about, and it's kind of fitting into the subject, so please don't judge me on my makeup today. Work was busier and work was more important than actually showing up pretty and doing the things that don't really matter, right? I know some people may say it matters, but for me, it doesn't matter right now because I want to talk about sales anxiety. I want to talk about why it feels heavy when we don't trust ourselves. I want to talk about what we can do to overcome that because that's really what's important, right? Important is that we are able to grow ourselves into the people that can hustle and work on our online business. Because for some people, it is really a very, very heavy time right now. There's a lot of you that are sitting looking at your accounts and say to yourself, I really would like to purchase something for my kids, but I can't. I really would like to buy this present, but I cannot. I really would like to have these supplements, but I cannot afford it. I really would like to have this shampoo, but I cannot. I really would like to book this trip, and I cannot. There's so many of you that really would like to do things that are just not within reach right now. And that is why you are having an online business, a side hustle, whatever you want to call it. And you're sitting here and you are wanting to make this work, but you are not capable of because you have a mindset that sales is X, Y, and Z. Drop it in the comments right now what you are thinking about sales if you have any thoughts. So let's talk about it, right? Let's figure it out because this is really so heavy, right? We have the opportunity for us. We know that this is something that can bring money because we see other people do it. We see our uplines do it. We've seen our bosses do it. Everybody seems to be able to do these things, but we somehow are not able to do it. And it feels heavy because you're thinking garbage about yourself. You're starting, like, I'm going to give you an example, okay? This afternoon, I had to fill out life insurance paperwork for my boss, right? We are getting it for my full-time job. We're getting extra life insurance, which is a fantastic thing. I'm super grateful for. But so we get this, and I get this sheet, and I had to fill it out. And for some reason, I wasn't able to fill it out. The technology was not functioning right? It wasn't doing what I wanted to do. It wasn't saving. And I sat there and I thought to myself, like, Stephanie, you are the biggest idiot. What is going on? And exactly that, the thoughts that are happening, Stephanie, you are the biggest idiot. Why are you not able to do it? I went into immediate shame cycle of blah, blah. Someone's voice is talking to me. Now, many of you have the same situation when you're sitting down, when you're hearing, you want to work your business, and you're sitting down, and out of the sudden, this voice is popping up into your head and telling you all these kind of things, right? That is your inner critic. That is the person that's talking schmack about you. Okay, I have to crack myself up because sometimes I can get too serious, right? So that is the inner critic. The inner critic is telling you all kinds of lies. Maybe, and here's the thing. I was trying to think about the situation with me not being able to fill out this form properly, and I was getting all frustrated with myself, and I could feel and hear the judgment from my boss of like, what is wrong with you? Like, are you sure that you can fill it out? Like, I mean, you know And that pressure that I felt in a minute of like performing on cue, and then, feeling dumb at the same time, like this, this feeling, right? You can imagine this feeling. What this is shame. This is shame because you're feeling not good enough. And many of us are then, when we start feeling that, we are avoiding it and we are checking out and we are going away and we're doing something else. That is when you are chickening out on sending your messages. That's when you're not doing your reach outs because it's not feeling comfortable. It's not easy to do. It is something that maybe takes a longer second, finding the people to send a message to, looking for the people. I don't know about you, but for me, as I'm working this, for me, it always happens. Like, I am trying to get online, and I'm telling you, everyone who says it's easy, they are flipping lying to you. It is not easy. So do not listen to this. But here it is possible. So I want to share with you the struggle so you can get through the struggle and also normalize the struggle a little bit, because how many of us are feeling insignificant and not good enough and doubtful because we are thinking we're the biggest idiots in the world, when in fact everyone is, right? We all are struggling with trying to battle these algorithms. We all trying to figure out how to stay focused when every 5 seconds there's going to be a reel popping up at you and something interesting popping up at you, and your brain wants to say like, oh, shiny object, oh, what's this, oh, wait a minute, I need to do this. And especially as mothers who are trying to do a job, and we're having the kids and they're coming in and then they're fighting and then the dog, and again there's a gazillion distractions at all times. And we need to develop this superpower of being focused among the distractions while sitting in shame, while also feeling like we're not good enough, while also maybe being a little rusty when it comes to technology, right? I'm talking to the ones that are maybe in their 40s. I'm also talking to the stay-at-home moms, because you are the ones who are having these side hustles, and maybe you are wanting to make something happen, but then it's not as easy finding the people online. It's not as easy of really quickly sending out the message, especially when you're having the distractions. And that is why it feels heavy. When we don't trust ourselves, we're having this inner critic coming and talking to us about how we are somehow not good enough. The shame that we're feeling, if we're not used to the shame feeling, the uncomfortable, many of us start avoiding it. We are avoiding it, then we are doing something else. We are answering these distractions, okay? And when we do, then we are not sending out the messages yet again. And I'm in this battle just the same as everybody else. And everyone is in this battle at some point, right? For example, I feel guilty every single time I tell my kids not now. They're coming up. I'm having office hours, and they're coming up and they're wanting to tell me something, and I have to say not now. And I feel bad about it, and I feel guilty about it. And then I think in my brain, right, all these things are happening when I think about it, like, oh my gosh, maybe I should say, maybe I should, maybe I shouldn't, maybe I should. What is the right way? Then you start looking for mentors, then you start looking for what other people are doing. Your brain has this anxiety over and over and over again because you are not certain on what you want to do. And here's the thing, there's no right or wrong way. Okay, I'm going to give you permission today to find your system, to find what feels good to you. That is what Walk It Free is all about. See, so many mentors say you have to follow my system. I'm not saying you have to follow my system. I'm saying find your own system. I'm going to guide you to find your system, because your system needs to feel comfortable to you. What feels good to you right now is something what maybe doesn't feel good to you tomorrow or in a month. But you can change, you can adjust the systems if you are willing to work with it. Okay, you have to of course show up. If you're wanting to stay in the shame cycle and not work through the shame, not work through the guilty feeling of maybe recognizing that you're not that skilled right now. See, I got so insecure. I'm going to be very honest with you. I got so insecure about the moment of me trying to figure out how to do this stock sheet on the computer, which I don't know why I wasn't able to get it figured out. And then I started realizing, oh, wait a minute, it is something that is for me. You know, it was about life insurance that was benefiting me. Every single time I have recognized this pattern, every single time something was for me, I had trouble doing it. I do it for other people, like easy, I do for other people. For me, every single time something benefits me, this is hard for me. Okay. It's a pattern that I've identified that I have to work with. You have a different pattern, probably. Something differently is keeping you. What is the common denominator? See, I got so insecure about myself for a second that I had to do an IQ test just to reassure myself that I'm not dumb. I know it's like ridiculous. You can laugh about yourself sometimes, but this is how hard it could be when you are triggered, when you are feeling heavy. Okay, you can't. I mean, this is human life. This is what happens to us. We sit there and we think to ourselves like, I'm dumb. I must be dumb. I don't think I'm cut out for this. And this is the point where so many of you are quitting. Don't quit. Okay, I want you to know this is totally normal to work your way through the uncomfortable. This is where it's at. Your skills are going to come by reassuring yourself over and over, I'm not dumb. Maybe I am rusty in my skills. Maybe I am still triggered and my brain wants to keep me safe, so I'm blocked, right? I have been battling and healing my nervous system and supporting my nervous system to get out of this trauma, to overcome this grief that I've been having for the last 2 years. This is a continuous journey. How many of you had grief? How many of you have insecurities? How many of you are dealing with depression and anxiety and overwhelm and trying to still put those Christmas presents under the table, under the tree? How many of you are afraid to see your credit card bill when it comes to January? Right? Don't even lie to yourself. It's the truth. I know it. I just need to look at the statistics. You don't even have to tell me in the comments or in my DMs. I already know. You all are having issues with the credit cards as well. And we need our side hustle to work, and we cannot make it work. We cannot win if we cannot develop the trust in our own skills, in our own journey, in our own systems that we can work on every single day. See, every single day, what will work for us? If you try to copy my system with my routines, with my preferences, with my standards, with my beliefs, it's not going to work. See, I see it with my children right now. They are not going to uphold the standards that I'm setting without frustration for them. So what I do with them is I ask them, what is your system? What goal do you want to achieve? What do you think needs to be done for it to be accomplished? Right? How do you think you're going to want to do that? What will feel good to you? See, this is where it's at. It's the work in the uncomfortable. You got to know your inner critic. What is it saying? Does it mean what it says? Is it true? See, when my inner critic said, you're such an idiot, I know my conscious self said, I know I'm not an idiot, but actually I still had to do an IQ test to just really make sure I am not an idiot, to see it black and white, because I had to prove to myself that I'm not. Unbelievable. But this is really, think about it, this is what it could be for you too, right? I don't know if you are the same way than me, but that was me. I had to prove to myself I wasn't an idiot so I could get myself quickly out of that shame cycle. Okay, so you need to learn how to trust your skills. You need to learn how to trust your systems. And when you do, you are not going to feel as anxious about doing the work. It's not going to feel so heavy because you're going to start seeing results. Once you can see results, like if you reach out, if you talk to people on a regular basis, you have feedback, you can evaluate that feedback. What are the clients going to say? What do they think? Do you have a valuable product? Do you not, right? What is it that you're dealing with? Is it accurate? Is it not accurate? What are we dealing with? And then from that moment on, once you have clarity around it, you can build a system that will get you to the next level, that will level you up. Okay. Every single day, it has to feel comfortable to you. See, it's important that you develop your own system, that you know, I have to do lead generation, I have to do marketing, I have to do accounting, I have to do customer service, right? Those things are important. How can you accomplish them every single day? How and when can you do it? Some people say work 5 minutes at a time. To me, this does not work. If I do 5 minutes, I don't get as much done in those 5 minutes because I personally need to focus a little bit longer, right? If I don't, I do certain things 5 minutes at a time, but then other things I need to spend a lot more time to actually be in flow, to think, to write my own content. Like I need more than 5 minutes. I can't do posts in 5 minutes. But I have developed a system of preparing. I don't prepare my scripts, right? But I did the research, I did the work before. I have notes that I took. I prepared myself mentally and physically for the talks that I give. I wrote out my posts in advance. And so when I post it and either schedule it or when I post it, it's already done. I don't have to do these on the whim, right? Or I have a guideline, I have an idea, I'm streamlining certain things, I plan it out. There's a system behind it of my content creation. What's your system? What works for you, right? That's important, you guys. Once you get that, once you can build that trust inside of yourself, inside of your brain, you will actually end up feeling a lightness because you don't have to think in that moment. You can just follow the plan, right? Just follow your plan, the plan that you have put in place. But don't just follow someone's plan. Learn to set your own plan. That's how you're going to stay consistent. That is how you're going to be able to do it. And even be patient with yourself. This is not something that's going to happen overnight. It's going to develop a little bit over time. That's why the Freedom Mentorship is a mentorship subscription. Every month you're going to be there because it's going to take multiple months. It's going to maybe take even multiple years because every level has a new devil. Every single time you have to have a different mindset obstacle. Every single time you start something new, you may have to battle new things. Yeah. I hope this was helpful. Let me know in the comments if this was helpful, what your takeaways are. Send me a DM. I would love to have a conversation. Also, I am launching a podcast. If you are wanting to check this out, you're going to be able to listen to my content on your favorite podcast, I guess. I'm working on it. I will let you know once that's completed, but I'm going to try to upload this. It's going to be called the Walk It Free podcast, right? The Walk It Free podcast or Walk It Free by Stephanie Zima, I think I called it. I should call it the Walk It Free podcast because that probably would be easier to remember. Anyway, I'll see you all tomorrow. All right. Have a good night.